So today is November 10th, 2019. Still the same day as my last video, but my last video I did in the middle of the night, I don't know, around 2 in the morning or something. So right now, I don't even know what time it is, like 9 or 10. And no, it's like 10 or 11. Anyways, so I'm here with Stormy, so he might interrupt, but that's okay. But basically, this is a video following up to that video that I put out last night or in the middle of the night. It was pretty doom and gloom and sad, and I hate to just leave off like that. Not that I really even feel like anybody's like listening to my videos so much. But regardless, it's not for them, it's for me anyways. So I follow in the video I posted in the middle of the night. I kind of received some clarity that's tied to that video. And not even to the video, just to the circumstances of which I was discussing in my video, partly. There's always so much more that goes with a story, and I don't usually talk about everything. I know it seems like I talk about a lot of my personal business, but there's so much I don't share and I keep to myself. But I do feel it's therapeutic for me to release some of these thoughts, and that's what I was doing, and that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm doing again now. So I was soaking in the bathtub to take some time to meditate and pray and in a way get my mind straightened out, kind of recalibrate. I don't know. Basically, I don't know. There's probably going to be a few stalled moments in this recording. I wrote notes on what I want to cover, but there's a lot in my mind, and I'm just trying to edit what comes out. So I'm soaking in the tub, and I submerged my ears and just stayed still and quiet, and I realized I could hear my heart beating. And this is kind of a big thing for me personally, because with my anxiety that I've allowed to scare me throughout my later adult years, I always had a fear of hearing heartbeats, whether it be my cat's, my husband's, and I would put my head on somebody's chest and hear their heart. It would kind of freak me out, because it would get me thinking about how one day the heart's going to stop. And I would always be fearful that I would hear maybe a irregular heartbeat, or just notice it doesn't sound good, or it's too fast, or So that was one of those things that I kind of struggled with. And initially, when I heard the sound of my own heart beating in my own head, I was reminded of that fear. But this time it was so different. It actually brought me comfort in knowing the strength of it, and hearing the rhythm of it, and knowing that it's still beating, and it sounds healthy. And even after I thought that it's been severely damaged, my anxiety also led me to believe that some of the pain that it suffered was so significant that it could lead to torn connective tissue and ligaments or whatever's in there that it could lead to heart issues. I mean, people do damage and they do pass away from a broken heart. It's a legit, scientifically proven, medically supported thing, which doesn't help my anxiety of worrying about my health and the damage I've caused myself. So it was really refreshing to be able to hear my heart and not be scared of it, and to embrace the sound of it. And this was all while I was praying and just asking Jesus to help me and guide me. And he did. And as I was in there just thinking, and I realized something I've known and I've realized from time to time, but it kind of got connected a little bit better for me. But I've allowed myself to rely on others to identify to me my self-worth. And this is kind of where it ties into the video from last night. I was wallowing in sorrow over the abandonment of those who deemed me unworthy, in their opinion. And it's what's caused a lot of damage in my day-to-day since the overwhelming punches of it all in the past 2 years. It was so bad that I forgot who I am and the value I hold in God's eyes, in my own eyes. I've allowed Satan to lie to me through his unsuspecting victims. And I have allowed myself to believe those lies from time to time. The people that are the vessels for Satan's lies don't even know. And I forgive them for that, because they are completely in the dark when it comes to spiritual warfare, and that they're being used to hurt. And they don't understand the impact that they hold on others that just mean well to them. By entering all the confusion, and entertaining it, I've stumbled on my mission. And too many times I blamed others for me not feeling loved, wanted, or fulfilled, or just happy. It was just, I was confused and lied to, so I have to recognize where I failed in myself. I forgot that all I need is within me, and it is complete. I unknowingly and regretfully muzzled the Holy Ghost in my soul. I covered my ears to the one voice I could trust and rely on. And I forgot to trust in Him and realize there are many reasons for this season that I am going through. I know, Stormy. As much as it hurts, I know it's for my own good. And I now see that He never stopped talking to me, even though I wasn't listening. He even sent me reinforcements and helpers that I could actually help in return. So it's kind of like my mission wasn't ruined or flawed. It was just in his time and his way. So yeah, a lot has went on in the past 2 years. But I'm now remembering that not just the good, but also the bad was all for my own good and in his will. It's up to me to take the lesson from the heartbreak and allow those scars, stories, rubbing his face on my face. He's my healing cat. I love him so much, and he always makes me feel better, even when he's being annoying. So there is one thing that I was just about to talk about, the heartbreak and the scars from it. When I was in the depths of my anxiety in my early 20s, mid 20s, I would be concerned about my heart and worry about the feelings I would feel in it and the pains. And I spoke on it to my brother EJ, and he gave me a lot of comfort and a physical advice about muscles and how the heart can be, and one of the lessons he's learned through life, because he's, I guess, felt pains in there too. And this isn't like heart break pains, this is like physical pains. But he explained to me how my dad explained to him about how scar tissue works, and how with the heart it does suffer damage, physical damage, and from which that damage builds up scar tissue. And most people know that scar tissue is thicker and stronger than regular tissue. It's reinforced so it doesn't break in that spot again, break down in that spot again. So everything in moderation could be helpful. So I'm not saying it's good to be breaking down your heart tissue and building it back up with scar tissue, because too much of anything is a bad thing. But those little tears in the fibers that build back up with that scar tissue actually strengthens the heart to an extent of, if there was a traumatic event that tore it apart in many ways, physically, mentally, that physically those built up pieces of scar tissue can take on the trauma. So in a way, I definitely relate to this, and I almost feel like this is the major trauma that all those little pains were building up for. So so it's up to me to take the lesson from the heartbreak and allow that scar tissue to come in and not only repair, but strengthen my still beating strong heart. So here it is, my redemption song. That's my favorite Bob Marley song. For anyone to judge, but I pray that others can use this as a lesson to learn from, to maybe avoid them from going through the depths and the darkness that I got stuck in for longer than I care to admit. And all in all, in the last 2 years, They actually have been the greatest blessing. And I do thank Jesus for being by my side every step of the way and helping me realize there is a moral to the story. With all that said, I truly understand the importance of forgiveness and compassion and letting go of those who don't value me. Otherwise, I'm just going to be stuck in a vicious cycle of self-defeat and doubt and darkness. And it destroys the love for myself and that which is within me, which is the Holy Ghost. And that would be where it becomes excessive if I allowed it to continue. And too much of anything is a bad thing. So I'm going to end this on here, and I hope everybody, I don't even know if this is still recording, but all right, sorry about that. I was concerned I lost my recording, so I had to chop off a little bit, and I just want to wrap this up in a more upbeat fashion than I originally did. Sorry, I'm getting my words tongue-tied up. Just, it all comes down to I love everybody, and I don't care if you're my friend or my enemy. I love you, and I appreciate anything you have to offer that I may have learned from. And I just wish everybody would have a great life, and God bless. Bye.